We are back.
We are back.
So yeah, that was entirely 100% just combat.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah.
Way longer than I think it was probably planned, but you know.
I honestly expected the entire thing to be done in 4 hours.
But
And we're 4 hours in, and you've cleared most of it.
Well,
I mean, we spent 45 minutes building a fire.
not really. We spent most
Almost, yeah.
10 enemies who use attacks that have to be rolled 3 times, and through fire, through a smoke screen, also adding a luck roll.
Yeah, that added
Oh, sorry,
a lot
3
of
luck
time.
rolls.
Yeah.
I do think the way to have done that was definitely just, hey, perception check. Do they see the person? They cast it. If they fail, they can't do it. Like, that would have been faster, too. But, you know, hindsight.
Right.
Also doesn't help. This is probably the most tired I've been for one of these sessions so far.
Ugh.
Yeah,
IRL reasons.
and a lot of this
It's been a long
is
week.
me just figuring stuff out because a lot of things were thrown at me which I was not familiar with. And usually it's only like 1 or 2 things a session where that happens. But there was a lot that I just didn't know, you know? And part of that is just my inexperience not knowing certain mechanics.
Now you
and
just have to
having
remember
to
how
make-
to rule on them.
Make some mechanics from scratch, you know?
Yeah,
so-
but now you gotta remember all that crap.
Well, I mean, like, that was the way we did it for that session. If we want to update it now that it, like, is done, we can change it.
And I can actually spend more time doing research to figure out what actually rule these things are, you know?
Yeah, like how other people do it, see if it's like workable or.
Correct. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it is just time. I did like how you definitely had like a plan in mind for if how the spellcasters work. I could see that like very much like, oh, if they do this, they do that, and then you did it. So that was nice.
And it also took more time when y'all took like the approach of like trying to box them in and smoke them out, and like their thought process had to change with that slightly, you know. Like still, as far as like the attacks, it's still just a mathematical formula on like which attack they're going to do in what situation. But as far as like to do, you know.
This is going to be fun because I don't have many spell slots left going into what I assume will be the boss fight. But we'll figure it out.
He always
and I did 2 attacks.
Yeah. You played support all night. For
He didn't really
reference,
play support, he just played taking damage.
all those little wizard guys,
I dropped 57 was the lowest I dropped to.
all those little wizard guys had 14 health each.
Really?
One shot if I'd ran in there.
Yeah, but then they would have
Yeah.
potentially done between 10 and 15 damage to you every one
A
of them.
piece.
Yeah.
In one round of combat, they could have taken
that's
away
saying-
like half your health.
Depending on what I roll.
You don't
That's
get
true.
to roll. That's the thing about
Yeah,
Magic
and-
Missile. You
and
don't
Because
also-
he was doing luck checks.
Also, this
not
was
if you ran into the room.
the first
That was
time.
because of the smoke.
Yeah, but it's still gonna be smoke.
If he had, are you saying if he had ran into the room after we set the fire?
Yeah.
But
I didn't mean like when I opened the door and he barged in.
So, also, this was my first time doing held action for monsters.
or
Which
for
also
mobs.
took a little bit of time, but I think it added more tactical thinking and challenging, knowing that.
Oh,
they
that
could-
was like so scary that like they just burst the door open and all of a sudden I got hit by like I don't know like 8 magic missiles, a firebolt, and something else.
Sure.
It was
Yeah.
friggin' scary.
So basically, what they were doing in all that time where I was rolling is before you even cast Arcane Lock, they had removed the hinges off the door. That took 12 different checks to get a DC of like 16 for them to get that.
So they removed the hinges and just blew it off.
No,
That's
they
pretty
ended
awesome.
up destroying the door, but the door itself had no hinges. It was still resting in the frame, but it had no hinges on it. So their idea was, okay, they're behind this door. Instead of opening the door, we're just going to take the hinges off, pull the door to the side, and we're going to use all our held actions to magic missile and burning hands through the door that's now open once we see an enemy. That was their plan.
What was their plan to get through the ladders?
They didn't know they were there.
Yeah, but I mean,
They had no plan. They didn't know it was there. So, they, however, would have still hit because Burning Hands is just a cone, and magic
Area.
missile you can see a part of someone. So,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
just
mean
goes through.
through the ladders.
yeah. So these particular attacks still would have gone through. Yeah. So, and then like you put the arcane lock on the door, so then they had to burn their spell slots to magic missile the door. That took several turns as well.
Mm-hmm.
I also had them like doing stealth checks so they could have advantage on their attack rolls, which in hindsight doesn't make sense because most of them use magic missile anyways, and you don't need advantage for magic missile. I
Yeah.
don't really know why I did that. So, but anyways, so that was half their rolls was stealth. The other ones were trying to get the freaking door down and then, or to pull it down, and then they had to actually go through the health points of the door. And the reason that I was so hesitant and I had to make a call was to figure out if a door without hinges is still considered a closed door.
For the arcane lock.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah. It's closed.
Well, no, because you can just pull the door down. You're not
That doesn't
unlocking
matter.
anything.
It's still a door. Taking the hinges off doesn't make it not a door.
The spell specifically says a closed.
It is a door that is in the closed position. A door has two positions, closed and open.
So I did rule it that way because I called Ben, which knows nothing about D&D. I'm like, is a door that's not on its hinges but still in its frame closed? He said, yes. Cool. Because I didn't want to make that call because I don't know what that call is. That is just a verbiage call. That's not even a ruling call. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
that is really
pure verbiage.
rough.
If you view a door as a binary gate
And then
and it has open and closed.
Correct, but that's using programmers' logic.
as
I'm
well
not a
as
programmer.
like
That seems logical to me.
as well as an electrician's logic, to be fair.
Oh.
There it is.
That's why I was just kind of like, holy crap, how do I rule this? Because that can change your guys' entire plan.
Yeah, I would have, and it would also have made it so that I couldn't have like the spell would have fizzled. I wouldn't have been able to use it. I would have had another spell slot that I could have used. You know,
Oh yeah.
would have changed things on that end.
Of
course,
the spell just
It
would
would
have
have
failed.
given him a concentration spell he could use.
Yeah,
He would be
correct.
concentrating on it.
Yeah, you would still lose the slot, but you could then
Or
concentrate.
is
on
Arcane
something.
Lock even concentration?
Arcane Lock is not concentration. I was concentrating on warding win at the point. So so I wouldn't have changed concentration. But yeah, that is. Oh man, that's rough. I feel like that's going to come in handy later on, and know that a door, even if it's off its hinges, as long as it's in the closed position, it's going to be ruled as closed.
Yeah, I know, because
That's
before you
weird.
even ask that, I'm like, okay, what would these wizards do? They're smart. They're just going to unscrew the door from its hinges. Because they obviously can't open it up, because I said it opens outwards. There's ladders blocking it. What's the best way to open a door? Take it off its hinges, right?
Yeah.
That's what the wizards would do. So,
Yeah.
so I made the DC for doing the sleight of hand check to unscrew it while being under pressure. And yeah, so...
Wait a minute. If the door opened this way, the hinges would have been on our side of the door.
There are multiple hinges. I could draw you one right now that has hinges on this side but still opens outwards.
Okay, that's fair. But most common hinges, I feel like would have.
Correct. Yeah. Most common hinges wouldn't. Yes. But
So you had to roll a luck check for that.
in door design, you don't make the hinges on the outside ever. Whether the door swings outward or inward, you don't make it on the side that cannot be locked. The doors can be locked from the inside room. Right?
Okay.
So, by definition, it's bad design to put the hinges on the front of the door.
Well, is the RTC purveyors of badly designed fortresses and caves?
They just don't know how to build doors. Yeah, so.
Do they have a really good door craftsman, or is perhaps the door craftsman on strike and they had to get a new one? Who knows? Maybe they chopped off the door craftsman's hands. Maybe that happened.
So. You all have any other questions?
That is a lot of.
What went down, which didn't make sense to you guys in the moment?
Question why you had warlocks on the as guards and then wizards on the inside, I guess. Is that like a thematic choice, or it was just
It's just variety. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically I wanted the guards to have spells that had a very long range. And that is Eldritch Blast. You think of like someone defending a gate, you want them to be able to do long range damage continuously over time, consistently. And that's not a wizard. Wizards rely on their spell slots, but warlocks don't. So that's why they were on the gate. Because I'm like, you know what? If I was trying to get someone at top of a gate, it'd probably be a warlock. That way they could cast Eldritch Blast, get those Eldritch invocations, long range, extra damage, and just blast people away.
Okay, so I looked it up with Arcane Lock. You can break down a door, but the DC increases by 10.
Correct. Yes.
So that
did come into play
yeah.
when they attacked it.
How did that come to play with Magic Missile?
So the first attack wasn't Magic Missile.
So even
Said
off
that you
the
used
off the
Magic Missile.
hinges.
I used Magic Missile to destroy it. It took several turns for them to actually get to it. You guys had like 3 full turns with 8 enemies for them to actually do the things that they did. So there was 1 firebolt and 2. The first firebolt they realized, oh, this isn't working, and then they just cast Magic Missile for the door. Spell slots.
How many hit points do you have?
You said 14, right?
18. Made it a resilient door.
So that would be like what? It only takes half damage or something?
No.
Or no? Does it have like a damage threshold? Is that how that works?
No, that's Baldur's Gate does it that way. So resilient just means it has more hit points than normal for that size of door.
Oh,
So
okay.
normally it would be like 10 or 12. DC.
I have seen people play with like damage thresholds before. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's like
I've never encountered that yet, but it doesn't surprise. I mean, it works fine in Baldur's Gate, but anyways, and then the DC was naturally 15, then 25, which is why the firebolt missed, because they would have to get a natural 20 to actually do any damage to it with a firebolt. So, yeah.
I played or I saw a game where they did like there was like a stone window, like a stone and then a glass pane and stone and a glass pane, and like they were like about this big and they were trying to bust through it, and they had like a damage threshold of like I don't know, like 8 or 10 to even do any damage to it. So you had to have like hit it, which easy enough, but you'd had to like actually do a ton of damage to leave a mark on it, which was kind of like a desperate situation kind of a thing, and they're trying to escape, which was fun.
Now, also, like I didn't come prepared with that because I didn't anticipate y'all breaking down doors when they can just be freely opened.
Yeah. But I feel like we've messed around with doors and like entryways a lot in this. Maybe more on John's side when we were on his continent, but
yeah, I think you've definitely initiated more of that than anyone else.
Wizard's got a wizard, man.
You have the spells to do it, Except for that Kano, door Kano just punched a hole through.
A door off its hinges is technically not a closed door, and therefore it would not count.
You see that?
They're just talking about the rules and how it's written out.
That's just someone's opinion.
Yeah.
So, I kind of
It's honestly it's the DM's call at the end of the day, and you could have just made a completely off the wall decision and said, no, the door immediately explodes when he tries to cast Arcane Lock on it. And that would have been fine, you know?
Would it have been fine in the moment, though? Would it have been?
Like, what? But you're the DM, you make the choices.
Logically speaking, what is a door?
It is a door. It's still a door.
No, what is a door?
What is a door?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a door. Maybe at that point it's something else.
Does a door have to have hinges?
Think about this. What's the hinges connected to?
A
the wall?
leg bone? Leg
But
bone is connected
but
to
it's
the...
connected to the wall. Arcane Lock's only affecting the door. It's not affecting the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you take off the hinges, it's no longer locked because it's not expressly connected
okay.
to the.
Definition of a door is a hinged, sliding, or revolving barrier at the entrance of a building, room, or vehicle, or in the framework of a cupboard.
You can slip the
Hinged,
bars,
sliding, revolving.
whatever you call the little bars that go inside the hinges.
The pins.
The pins, yeah.
Yeah.
You can remove the pins and it still has hinges on it. It's still a hinged thing. It's just that if you try to open it, it's gonna
Yeah,
fall
so
over.
in my mind, I wasn't even thinking about the hinges. I was imagining them there with, like, magical screwdrivers just going as fast as they can.
We're thinking
in my
about little
head.
screwdrivers there.
I don't know, but in my head,
What
they were,
spell
they
did
were
they
doing,
use?
they were doing something they weren't
Mage
proficient
hand.
with. There you go.
Hitchin just turns the finger into a screwdriver.
A Phillips finger, if you will.
Fake,
Phillips
fake,
head finger.
fake fingernails.
Oh boy.
Thing. But
I feel like you let us get away with a lot of stuff that would like another DM would have just been like, all right, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like how you had the enemies kind of like, well, now we got to shift gears. Something's happening here, instead of just like beating their heads against the wall and or like not even noticing and just ending up suffocating. So it felt really like ill and dangerous and like we were trying to do something. It sort of worked. It didn't really, and I kind of liked that.
Yeah. I mean, it worked, just not as you intended it to work.
I mean, we got everybody dead.
It worked, but it took 5 times the length of time you hoped it would.
Yeah.
I honestly kind of hoped you would be like, all right, we're done. Like, these guys can't get past this, and they start suffocating in the smoke, and that's it. But you had them hold on and fight, and it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm okay with you guys screwing up my plans, but it's my job to give you guys something to do at the same time.
Yeah.
So if I just negate a quarter of the battle, I can do that, but I've got to fill the time with something else.
Yeah.
And I just chose to fill it out with the same thing, just a completely different format, which was still to your advantage.
Oh yeah.
The fire and the trap and the smoke, like, it definitely helped, like, a lot versus what it would have been. Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked just like the fact that they're trying to like climb over like the bodies of their dead comrades and the fire and like they're getting blown by the wind and then they hit like Kano just set up a trap and it's just like, oh no, I'm in a bear trap now.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, and the thing is, they didn't see the bear trap, so every single one of them just walks right into it,
I don't wish I'd have had Kano start throwing bodies back into the room.
Yeah.
that would have been pretty funny.
I honestly, there was a chance for someone to just outright die in this. With held actions with magic missile,
Oh, for sure.
with 8 people, like, in my head, I'm like, I always, for a tough fight like this is supposed to be, I want there to be a chance of death. I don't want it to be like a stupid death where, like, oh, you just didn't see this trap, you fall down this pit 180 feet, you die. But
Yeah.
a lot of things could happen to where, like, if Zoro or Zephyr or Jarther burst into that door and you get 2 Burning Hands, and 6 magic missiles, what's the chances of living?
Not really. Oh, I'd say about 50-50. I have a decent.
Zephyr had shield though.
Oh,
If she had cast shield as a reaction, she would have negated all those 6 magic missiles coming at
Magic
her.
missile on average does 10.5 damage. I'm 6. That's what.
Then I have a less than
that's
average chance.
63.
damage. Then you have
63 average.
Well,
for Burning
there
Hands.
is something I forgot completely,
Yeah.
which wouldn't have helped much, but it would have helped a tiny bit. Literally a tiny bit. My uncanny dodge.
Yeah.
That takes a reaction. You only get
Yeah.
one reaction per round, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't have helped much.
Yeah.
It definitely would have helped a little bit.
Oh, for
But this level up I'm about to do to get Artificer infusions is going to help me a lot. Remember how I said I wasn't going to get higher AC?
Yeah, you're getting higher AC. It
Yes.
doesn't help against magic missile.
Correct.
No, it doesn't,
You know what?
unfortunately.
Are you aware of the spell that what is it, armorers get? Artificer armorers? You get my own magic missile.
And y'all actually got like opportunity attacks. Oh.
That's because
I had 2.
I had,
I had as many opportunity attacks as I did
Actual
regular attacks.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, my sneak attacks did double their health. My normal attacks.
You literally just had to hit them.
Yeah, pretty much.
8 turns for them to die.
What's funny though, I didn't realize this. My opportunity attack left him with 1 hit point, didn't it? It did 13 damage.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, there's not like there's anything I can do. I rolled max damage.
Higher dex.
So
I can't unless you do some fun stuff again.
that's pretty fun. For the next 2 levels, I only get 1 spell slot. Once I hit 9, though, I'll get 3 spell slots. No, just 2. Then it's back to 1.
Oh, I get my homunculus servant again.
Guys, you gotta live through the next session first. You realize this,
Not the
right?
next session.
No, I do. I'm just making plans already. You know how it be.
And we'll take a break for you guys to actually do the level up. Just like try to know what you're gonna do without actually doing
Well, technically,
because y'all need to keep like your same spell slots and health is what you have right
Eric,
now.
we're technically out of combat. Right?
No, you're not.
You killed all
You're
opponents
not
you
out
can
of
see.
combat.
We're still in loose initiative,
That's Badger,
basically.
who is totally not anything but a
You're
Badger.
not even in loose initiative.
We're not
You are
even.
in
We haven't
strict
gone to this
initiative
other
right
door
now.
yet.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Lock on that.
Yeah.
Until they do like last time and just close the door up. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we do have this giant table we can roll in front.
So, when I do get my level up, I can do my infusions. Arthur, I can give you Mind Sharpener on your robes,
Mhm.
which will give you
He's doing.
no. It will
Please
give
don't.
him 4 chances a day to automatically succeed a Constitution saving throw to maintain
Oh.
concentration on his spell.
That's very useful.
That could be useful, but my Constitution's already one of my better stats, honestly.
Yeah, like how many times did you save in a row today?
You
Like
saved a good
10
bit.
or 11?
Something like that, yeah. I have a +3 to con. So if I,
Even
that means
still,
that means I save on a 7 or higher, so
So, do y'all want the stat blocks for the warlocks and the wizards?
maybe.
It's nothing fancy. But
Okay, that's fun. That's fun. So I'm looking at all of the different spells I could have, and there's a 4th level illusion spell called Phantasmal Killer, which
fantastic.
on a failed save, target becomes frightened, and at the end of each of the target's turn, they either succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or take 40-10 psychic damage. So I'm just like,
I need to get some enemies with counterspell going on.
No, you don't.
I know.
You don't need to do that.
No?
If you do, I'll just shoot them.
Okay.
Counterspell this, you filthy casual.
Counterspell this arrow to your face. Sneak attack.
At some point, I'm going to take that great sword and put it, strap it to Zoro's back, and throw it. It'll be like sneak attack.
I don't think it quite works that way.
See?
that's a fun. There's also hallucinatory terrain as
What
a fourth
is-
level.
I just
Yeah, I like
straight
that
up,
one.
However, I also could get greater invisibility. Imagine Kano just wandering around invisible.
Invisible.
Yeah, that would totally go perfectly well. No bad things would happen there.
Fine.
Hey, I turned it back a lot today. I didn't bust in the door. I actually peeked in.
No, yeah, and the thing is, the peak was great, but magic missile doesn't matter how much of you is exposed.
Yeah.
It's the one spell that doesn't care at all.
Magic Missile is great, but it loses exactly to shield, which most wizards have. Or, not wizards, but a lot of casters have. But, like, the fact that I don't have it, it just... Ugh.
Yeah.
Like, using using that counter spell on that Magic Missile was really, like... I was like, oh, that's the only one coming, so I'll just counter that. And then you had, like, 3 more hit me, and I was like, you know what? That was kind of a waste of a spell slot.
Yeah. Also, level 2 spell slot for a level 1 spell, too. So it's not even a trick. Especially when they have 3 spell
Level
slots
3.
each times 8 people, they have 24 spell slots to go through.
It was a level 3.
Yeah. Oh, level 3, yeah. So
Yeah.
you're wasting one of their 24 level 1 spell slots. Granted, most of the guys at the end had used all their spell slots. They were about to start throwing cantrips at you guys, so their damage curve was at the bottom anyways.
So you were having them start with their spells and then go to cantrips after?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I should have paid more attention to
Except for the, 2 firebolts I casted.
I should pay more attention to how poorly Soul Knife scales.
Yeah.
It doesn't unlock anything until 9th level.
A long time to... So, other than sneak attack. Sneak attack does scale as you level up.
That's
a good
pretty
bit.
good.
Yeah, but it doesn't go up for a good bit in the middle, I think, right?
It's like odd number level, I think. It's like 5, 7, 9.
Let me check.
It's first level it's 1d6, second level it's 2d6.
Second level's 1.
Fifth it's
You were right. It's
3d6.
2. It goes up by every 2 levels. It goes up by.
So yeah, 5 is 3, 7 is 4, 9 is 5, and then it goes 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. Yeah, and it just goes up by 1 die. Yeah, basically it goes up by 1 die every 2 levels.
Yeah.
So,
But you get like evasion, ability score improvement,
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that. So
Just don't get extra attack.
so I'm.
You
That's
get
great.
though.
7th level, getting an evasion is crazy.
Oh
So-
yeah, evasion is so freaking
So
good.
I can put enhanced defense.
Uncanny dodge and evasion are just like two of the best defensive things, you know.
I can put enhanced defense in my shield.
I mean, you have to get 7 leveled, so
Does it say it makes it a +1 magical weapon, or does it say it adds?
It's a +1 bonus
why?
firing armor or wielding shield.
Why? Oh, dude. Ugh.
23. DC.
I was trying to find it earlier and I couldn't find it.
I can then do
That's gross.
weapon on my bow to make it now a +3 bow. And then my last one can be giving him that. Or if he doesn't want that, I can go ahead and just get him.
So are we getting we're getting our level up ready for when we level up, but we're not doing it yet, basically?
Yes.
All right.
You guys are still in combat, so.
All right. I'm gonna need to do that. I have to add like I don't know, like 100. No, not 100, but like 30 or 40 more spells to my random number generator.
Good luck.
Yeah. Anyway, that'll be fun. Having a wizard who can pick one spell every level up and then gets 2 random ones has been such a weird thing because I'll get some really interesting spells that have very, very few use cases, like we saw with the Warding Wind today, and I think having that as like a thing has been really I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to use certain spells and actually use them because
Which I personally really like that because how many times you just pick the same things that you're supposed to pick, right? And a lot of these other spells
may just go Fireball.
If you looked up Warding Wind, let's be honest, out of your 2 spell slots at every level up, you're probably not going to choose that.
No.
But it created a really cool moment that impacted that fight drastically.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it didn't work necessarily as you intended to do it, but it still impacted the fight drastically.
It was funny. It wasn't particularly good.
Drastically.
But it was funny.
Drastically. Or T-Rexes coming out of this week. Oh. Yeah. But, I mean, that is also at the cost of, do you want to use your 1 spell slot to get shield or mage armor?
Yeah.
I would say at this
so
point,
far haven't, and it's been working out. Well, working out. The fact that I had that Cloak of Displacement really helped in the early of that, but does not help against Magic Missile, unfortunately.
It's not, yeah. Yep. Yeah, so... And I feel like I wish that at least part of this fight would have been not as complicated, just so I could gauge how well my charting and planning out of running a full magic thing against you guys.
Encounter.
But I really can't judge based off this encounter because of all the other mechanics that were going on that I was having to take into account. I know.
Yeah,
I just took forever.
It got a little complicated because of all the shenanigans that we were doing, and I take full responsibility for that. That's on me.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. It just doesn't help me gauge how my preparation impacted the actual close of the game. So.
But on the bright side, you'll have at least part of the next session already pre-planned out without having to do any more prep.
Yeah, honestly, most of the session is probably planned out.
No, we're gonna breeze through this next session. For sure.
What is y'all's plans after this?
My suggestion was gonna be heading back to our maybe temporary camp. Maybe not head all the way back to our village, and then start making plans to figure out the next person we gotta hit.
I know I kind of want to go through and see if we need to up the defenses any.
Yeah.
That's something I was thinking about. Maybe hire some mercenaries to protect the town, just in case we get some retaliation. Because we figured out the army camp or whatever was it last session was gonna be a problem, and then we gotta try to think we were told that like it would be a certain number of days, and then we traveled for a couple of days to get where we were. So like
I think we traveled for
that might be something that happens.
That was probably like 2 days travel to get here.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I think military, and then finally we go after the Master of Coin, and then kick off the whole like attack the actual city part with hopefully that'll be fun. Maybe we can do some like John helping build some siege engines. That could be pretty fun.
Let me arrange. Yeah. I was debating on making that final battle like an all-day thing because like it's probably not going to fit into one session. Like this didn't fit into one session, you know.
Yeah. I mean, but that's like probably what 3-4 sessions down the road. So an all-day session is. I don't know how feasible it is on the long term.
I'm in DC, and I just did no closure on this.
Yeah.
Everybody but me dies. Yay.
So you're doing wizard, you're doing artificer, are you doing
I'm
fighter
probably-
too?
I think I'm going to go for
Fighter
fighter 2. And I may stop and just stay in barbarian. I haven't decided.
I think that's objectively, I think that's the best one.
I'm almost tempted to go to 3 and try out one of the martial tops.
Yeah.
Thinking about doing Echo Knot.
Okay. No idea what Econaut does.
When Adam did his game and India came in,
Uh-huh.
that's what she was doing, where it puts your little echo,
Oh,
and you can
on that
swap
one.
places,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
There was a very positionally based martial lesson.
I figure for him it actually worked out pretty good.
Oh yeah, especially being
So-
the fact that you're the only frontliner currently.
To be able to put a copy of myself somewhere,
Yeah.
and then potentially like put it near Jarther, and then if I have to swap something. I don't know if that's what I'm gonna do. I'm toying with the idea right now. Of course, that could just be for my backup character.
Yeah. Well, that also, really the only thing to consider, in my opinion, is how that slows down your barbarian versus the benefits you get now. Like, once you get, what is it, level 11, you get 3 attacks per action. Like, that's going to be another major damage buff for you. Yeah, so it just like delays that a little bit.
At 9th level, so you could roll 1 additional weapon damage die when determining extra damage for a critical hit. You get 3 dice from a crit.
Is that, what level was that?
Brutal critical, 9th level.
Okay. And you could, I mean, you could also turn this into a crit heavy build and do champion fighter to increase threshold by 1. You would not. Eventually, you're getting 3 attacks per action. You get haste, that's 6 attacks. You got to roll a 19 or 20. And a heck of a lot more damage for it. So that is a possible build. As exciting of a build as Echo Knight, but
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
maybe it's a Baldur's Gate rule.
Could be.
Because you get Relentless Rage at 11, which if you're raging and you drop to 0, You don't die outright. You make a DC 10 con save, and you
that's
drop
nice.
to 1 hit point instead.
That's very nice.
Hmm. So I just I'm doing my random spells now because why not? And I just got Conjure Minor Elementals.
Oh, oh, oh boy.
I may just go straight
Fourth
barbarian.
level,
These.
and then the other
it?
one I just got.
If he can survive to 15, rage only ends if you fall unconscious. Or you choose to end it, yeah.
Should pretty much have it all the time. You have 4th level spell slots.
I will have them next level.
Elemental challenge rating or lower to elementals. Oh, so you get to choose. You could just summon 8 little tiny elementals.
I think I should have just went straight barbarian and hope to get to 20.
Screw it.
We go up to 24.
Well, you're already 5 or
Max.
1, so.
I mean, unless we do something.
Well, I mean, John still
Yeah.
has the thingy, but I don't know if Kane knows. So
No one knows I have that.
I mean, if you pop up something randomly later, I like what you did.
Yeah.
But as far as any other level ups, there's nothing about getting a 3rd attack.
Okay. Maybe that's just a Baldur's Gate rolling then.
I have some interesting thoughts that I need to pass.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, that Conjure Minor Elemental is very good. Very good. Yeah, because I can just beef up the front line.
Okay. And then I got the second one I got was Ray of Enfeeblement.
What the heck?
I have who?
Enfeeblement.
Oh, Ray of Stevens?
I heard Steeblement or something weird like that.
Enfeeblement.
Oh, great. Black being of.
It's basically it's another concentration spell, believe it or not. I want something that's not concentration for once.
You know
Jeez.
what would be a cool magic item is an item that allows you to concentrate on more than one spell at a time.
That's what I was saying, but there's nothing like that out there. The best thing that you can do is have like I think it's like a 9th level or 8th level spell with Simulacrum, and that's like the only way that you can concentrate on more than one spell, which is interesting.
I mean, they're concentration spells for a reason. Usually they're good. So, what's going to be your spell that is not random?
I'm looking at it.
Yeah. I tired. That's right.
Oh, fun. I was thinking about maybe getting Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound. I'm looking at that right now.
You got Warren Kane's Magnificent Mansion. We could just take a long rest right here.
Yeah, but we don't level up until after the encounter.
Okay, guys. As soon as we load back into this, we just dip. We run.
Just say something real quick before you do that.
Oh, sorry. Let me just F5 real quick.
I think that was it as far as like illusion spells. The only other thing that I could get is like greater invisibility.
Oh, that hound is very interesting.
Yeah, it's not. It's like an 8-hour watchdog.
Yeah.
That if you ever get ambushed, and the fact that like it'll just ignore anything that isn't. It sees invisible creatures, can see into the ethereal plane, and it ignores illusions. And then if it can attack, and on a hit it deals 48 piercing damage, and it just
Granted,
lasts for.
it is almost entirely a defensive spell.
Yeah, but I mean, you could use it in combat.
Oh yeah,
I think.
for sure. Yeah, it just wouldn't work as well for like clearing rooms, but like holding a line, absolutely.
I should go down and pick up the feet mobile.
It's entirely just defensive though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I'm honestly like I'm torn between doing greater invisibility,
Yeah.
and just saying screw it and leaving conjure minor elementals as the highest level, and getting something a little lower.
Well, you only have what, one level 4 spell slot right now?
Yeah. So like if I use it on that, it's just that's all I get. You know.
Yeah. I personally like the fact of being able to summon 8 elementals with a single spell slot.
Yeah, but it's also concentration, which is like almost everything I have right now is concentration.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for something that I can do that's not that.
Especially with like haste, that just throws that out there too.
I think you should more than one.
Probably. If y'all want that, if y'all want to like homebrew magic items, just run it by me. It's just you may not like the cost.
I would like
Yeah.
if it makes me just be able to critically hit.
Immortal.
Looks like I run me 300,000 gold.
There'd be some side effects.
Wait, what? Other than the gold?
Everything was also critical.
Yeah, with my AC, I'll take that.
Interesting.
Your AC wouldn't matter at that point at all.
You're right.
Yeah. At that point, just go full naked and move faster.
Just be a negative.
Except that wouldn't work either.
I will instantly take monk.
That's also concentration.
Yes.
Oh no, not that. I was just looking at this.
Naked monks move quick.
So I'm
Haven't decided yet.
If I could get them to survive with the feats and stuff.
Yeah.
There's one where I think I'd have to read it, but I get 10% or 10 the movement speed. But then anybody that I'm near, any hostiles, get disadvantage on anybody they attack.
Oh, nice.
But my health would go up to 284.
Jeez.
I will also say, I, as a DM, am a little bit scared that we're at the halfway threshold to level 13.
Let's do it.
Like, oh man, that first session is going to be really rough for me.
Did we hit level 13?
Specifically when Jarther hits level 13.
Arthur, where do you get a level 13?
I don't remember. Lots of good stuff, though.
What's 13 to hit?
I have it right here with me.
Okay,
Why am I-
So at level 13, that is when they first get 7th level.
Seventh
spell.
level spells. Yeah.
Then, I've never played with 7th level spells. What I've been told is level 7 spells are on the level
It's fun.
where it shifts the planes of reality at a regular basis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're crazy.
Interacted. buy equally crazy things from the DM to make anything fair or level or even.
It's pretty fun.
So, but it also brings in a lot of spells which are just stupid. Let me pull up some levels.
I got it right here. So let me see.
15 board.
So you have like level 7th. There's Crown of Stars. On a hit, you can do 7 of these on a hit. They take 4d12 radiant damage. And they basically shine light, and you can like use a bonus action to send one of the motes streaking towards one creature or object within 120 feet of you. So basically, like, you can pre-cast these spells, and then it's, what, 4d12, I said? Yeah, 4d12.
Yeah. Just a lot of damage.
And that's just, like, one of the first ones. And I really wish this app I had for keeping track of my spells would stop giving me ads.
But, like, Plane Shift. Plane Shift changes the nature, your command, blah, blah, blah. It opens doors to all of D&D's cosmology because you can travel to alternate reality. With a single action, you can bring up to 8 people with you to an alternate
Man,
plane.
I don't like this fight.
I can
Let's
get
go
you
to the
guys-
Feywild.
I could get you guys almost dead, and he's just like, alright, we're out.
Sounds good to me.
So we could also...
Yeah,
It also has...
One of our enemies has counterspell.
I know.
Level 7 also has teleport, which is it. I can transport instantaneously 8 willing creatures and myself, like, almost anywhere.
Yeah. And the thing is like, so I don't fudge rolls, abilities, anything like that. At that point, I may have to just to continue being a good DM. Just to make something of any challenge at all. With so many just get out of jail free cards, it's just...
Yeah. That's also where I get Simulacrum. So I can have 2... I can have a copy of myself, essentially.
Yeah.
Of course, it costs 15,000 GP, but... Or 1,500 GP.
Wish I'd have rolled that good when I did my first one. So do I get to make a level 15 board?
You know, once we get to that point, like, I'm definitely going to try it, just... Yeah. Then you get to, like... 9th level spells are also just...
9th level spells are endgame. Power word kill.
Power word kill, man. Like...
Wish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Something that I liked on TikTok the other day, where as a DM, like, the next time I do a campaign, I'm gonna ask all my characters ahead of time to use the wish spell once, and it'll be just like straight Twilight Zone where everybody gets their wish, but
nobody knows what they do.
The entire campaign is around them getting what they wanted, but not the way they wanted it. And just make it like a Twilight
that would
Zone
be pretty
thing.
cool.
Like, that would be sick, especially if you didn't know what other people's wishes were, and then all these things are happening. You're like, oh no, this is why this is happening. I'm a terrible person.
That's great. Did I say which one I wanted? I did not. No, I did not. I'm trying to get something fun, but it's not helping me. Why? No. Why is that concentration? Stop being concentration, guy. All right.
It works that way.
Even wish, you can create an object of 25,000 gold in value that isn't a magic item. You can literally just create items, go to sleep, sell them, cast it again, like unlimited money essentially at that point.
I'm sorry. What was the spell?
Wish.
Wish, like, you have to, like, rest for like a month after you cast it, I think.
Is it?
It like leaves you unable to cast anything after you cast it. Let me pull it up. Mm-hmm.
And any 8 creature enjoys immunity to a single spell or magical effect for 8 hours. Oh, we're going up against a herd of warlock. Guess what? We're all immune to force damage.
No, the stress of casting this spell to produce any effect other than duplicating another spell weakens you. After enduring that stretch, each time you cast a spell until you finish a long rest, you take 1d10 necrotic damage per level of that spell. Cannot be reduced, and if it isn't lowered, blah blah blah. Finally, there is a 33% chance that you are unable to cast Wish ever again if you suffer the stress.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Not unlimited money. Still very powerful.
Yeah, it is kind of a get out of jail free card though.
No,
I like
the entire fabric of a campaign completely whenever you
Yeah.
want.
I mean, isn't that what I just said?
Yeah.
No, concentrate. I'm trying to get something that's not firebolt and is not concentration. And I'm leaning towards Tasha's Mind Whip, but you know what? No, that's also concentration. Why is that concentration? So dumb.
Alright. Well, I'm tired. I'm going
Yeah.
to walk. And then
I'm just gonna go for lightning bolt.
Okay. Lightning bolt is that concentration?
No,
Wait, what is the
thankfully.
difference between lightning bolt and lightning?
Lightning is the there's like a druid spell where it's like lightning call or something. And that's where it's like you're calling down lightning. Lightning bolt is you just point and just shoot a massive lightning bolt.
Gotcha, so it's just straight damage. Gotcha. Alright, well, thanks for watching, everybody that watched this. For the 5 people that will watch it, which is probably
us. Yeah, that one's called Call Lightning is what that one was. Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Good night now.